How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Dirt Rooster Bicycles. Tonight we have a special guest, Adam. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, people.
Adam is a seasoned adventure athlete and a hydration nutrition guru.
Thanks for having me over.
Yeah,
really
man.
appreciate being
Thanks
here.
for coming. Hop into a little bit of the theory on kind of
Sure.
what our bodies are actually doing and how the process actually works.
I love to wax philosophically about water.
Yeah.
So the big thing is that the water that's in our cells, our tissues, and extracellular fluid that is us is a structured water that has a bunch of ions, electrolytes. You might have heard that term before.
Right.
Proper pH balance, and our body is 98 degrees. Matching to that structured water with sodium, potassium, calcium, phosphorus.
Those are things that slide right past maybe my own head and the heads of some others, if you can break it down into a little bit more of...
I guess the best, caveman terminology to it, or say that you're a biochemical battery. That electrical charge that we get to be happy and strong and fast and be alive is based on that whole chemical gradient that you create with all of those wonderful ions that you get from berries, fruits and vegetables, cooked grains, leafy greens. There are two ways to go about this. One, you can, as we were talking before, you can adapt your water so that it's not just plain running out of the tap. Who knows what you just got?
Right.
What I usually do is squeeze half of a lemon into a room temperature glass of water, put a little bit of a pinch of sea salt or pink Himalayan salt in there. You've got your trace minerals, you've got all those wonderful ions that we just talked about, the sodium, potassium, calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium that you were looking for earlier. And so that matches your cell structure water, right? And that way it has a really easy exchange, and you're properly hydrating your cells, as opposed to thinking that you're hydrating yourself is be a good way to think about it.
Sure.
Second way, eat your water. Berries, fruits, leafy greens, vegetables, oatmeal. Steel-cut oats, 3-to-1 water to grain ratio. Nuts and seeds, put chia seeds and hemp seeds and flaxseed in it. Almond milk that I make myself, and usually put berries over them. If you can get out to Lairland, you get berries in the summertime.
Yeah, berries on top of oats.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Good morning.
All of that, the plant has already structured the water from you. It's sucking all of those wonderful ingredients, all the ions, all of the molecules out of the soil and structuring itself. And then when you eat it, you're not only eating the water, but you also are eating fiber, which makes your water time released. You're not just trying to overhydrate and make for a really lousy ride when you have a full belly.
Right. Maybe touch on a bit of why it's so important to stay hydrated throughout a ride or a longer extended exercise like that.
Sure, or even throughout your day, right?
Right.
Beyond thermal regulation and waste removal, the big thing for riding is your muscle strength. You've got to keep that homeostasis of electrolytes, ions, pH balance. That whole has to stay in a very level way, otherwise you might bonk.
Yeah, we've been there. I've been there. I'm sure you've probably been there. Maybe not as much as you're a bit more knowledgeable on the body than us, but I think we've all been there.
Yeah, it's a good way to learn to stay properly hydrated is to bonk once.
Yeah, it'll teach you better for next time.
Yeah, that's for
definitely. I think one of the worst bonks I've ever had was on a long ride in the north section of the park, climbing out Daniels Road. I don't know why we chose that as our out, but we got about halfway up to the steepest part of the road and both legs locked up. Had to sit down on the side of the road for a little bit, eat a snack, drink a bunch of water, and kind of wait it out.
It's interesting that you mentioned that you locked out, because your fascia that surrounds your muscle tissue, like every bundle of the muscle, is just like tied in this wrapping called fascia, and it's all connected to each other. Your toe bone is connected to So anyway, that is this amazing electrical conduit throughout your entire body and needs the hydration. Literally runs along it. They've done like ultrasounds on people's legs, and they can watch like the little droplets of water for any kind of range of motion to stay supple, doing whatever it is that you're doing, that hydration in a balance, because it's a gel. It's like liquid crystal.
Yeah.
You can stick needles in it and get piezoelectric activity called acupuncture.
Sure.
The other part of it that I think people miss is that like it hydrates your tissues, right? So you have 23 vertebral discs. That's your shock absorption system. Right. For your brain, for your eyes, basically, so you're not like wandering all over the trail, right? Keeping water in those keeping water in your cerebral spinal fluid, because it's great that your skull doesn't get cracked open with your helmet, but your brain still bashes into the back end of the front of your head. Having the right amount of cerebral spinal fluid in there. Not that you've hit your head before.
No, definitely never experienced that.
No, never happened to me.
You described it well, because when you do lose hydration and get to a certain point of bonking or kind of locking up, you feel a bit of disconnection from your body a bit, and definitely lose some senses.
Oh yeah, the whole brain function is based on that electrochemical activity. Being dehydrated by the end of your ride makes it so that you're not functioning as well. Balance is off, your focus is off, your ability to react quickly has diminished.
Maybe form a complete sentence.
Well, that happens. Those are good rides. Those are really good rides.
Yep.
At the end,
when you push the limits of your hydration and
you've got
body's
nothing
ability.
left to say.
That's right. That's
You're there. You've made it.
Obviously throughout a ride, it's important to keep consuming nutrition and water and everything you can, but there's probably some other times pre-ride, post-ride, and
just thinking about it on a day-to-day term, hydrating at the first part of the day is super important. Is when I have that lemon squeezed into my room temperature water, right? Overnight, you've done all this work. Your liver has done all this work to detoxify your body. The volume of your body water is down because you've breathed out a ton of water vapor. You lose a lot of water vapor when you breathe. Your brain also, that's the point in time when it can flush itself out as well. So now your blood is like this super toxic load, and what you need to do is be kind to your liver. Put your volume back up to where it was, then start your day. Then have your coffee, then do whatever. Literally, it should be the thing you do when you get out of bed. Suck down a glass of water, and then same thing with the ride. Pre-hydrate minutes before you get on the bike. You're really trying to saturate your tissues in the proper hydration so they can perform and function at their most optimum level, bro.
Yeah. Something that I've got myself probably caught in, and I think others have felt the same thing, of on a hot summer day in Maryland here, slam a ton of water before going out for a ride, and you find yourself into the ride maybe feeling real full.
Getting the ions and the water temperature to match your body as it's going in. You know that feeling when you get just an absolute full belly of water? I can't put any more water in.
Right.
Well, that water isn't useful anymore. Not the right pH balance. It's not the right temperature. And so now what's your body doing? Your body's actually digesting water rather than pedaling a bicycle.
It's working in here, not in here.
If you eat the water, if you drink adapted water that's already structured as if it were in your body, or at least closer to it, the less work, and you can literally feel the water going through your esophagus and into your fingers and toes.
Sure.
Right?
Instead of just
sitting in your gut. You really don't have to drink that much quantity of water.
Sure, but when it's that simplified, straight up water with no adaptation to your body, that it has to work harder.
Super interesting mechanism that the body has is that it senses what it has consumed. If you eat the right thing and if you drink the right stuff, your body is no longer thirsty. You ever chase after, I'm still thirsty, you need to change and adapt your water to be structured. Right? Your body knows. It has an innate ability to know what it needs.
Very useful information in itself. Was a good recap of kind of what we talked about overall. Appreciate you coming in.
Oh, man.
Again,
I had such a good time.
Yeah, dropping some knowledge on us and our viewers, and hopefully helping out some people with the hot days coming up here in the summer. It's
Maryland.
It's a tough area to really push yourself in the middle of some of the days through July and August.
Breakfast, you eat it with a spoon, right?
Yeah, that sounds like a spoon meal to me.
That is a spoon meal.
I wouldn't even attempt to eat that with a fork.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So then you have a spoon with you.
Right.
And you have your lunch in a box, and it's rice and beans.
Can't go wrong with rice and beans.
Can't go wrong with rice.
I'd eat rice and beans with a fork for 10 years.
I'm more of a spoon guy. The spoon thing is what does it. Small shovel that
the spoon spade.
Yeah,
the fork, I guess,
falls off. It's narrow.
That's right. Yeah, that's a valid point.
And what are you really stabbing?
I'm rethinking my choice in utensil.
And you
what's better to use than a spoon, I guess.
Exactly.
But what if you need a knife? I guess the spoon could be
rice and beans.
I'll never bring a fork on a camping trip ever again.
May you never need a fork in your life.
Anytime I use a fork now, I'm going to be like, Adam's hating me right now.
I even chop my salad fine enough that it's like kind of like slaw,
Sure.
so you can spoon it.
Nothing I hate more than losing a small piece of lettuce over a fucking fork.
It's terrible.
Yeah. All right. Spoons it is.
Spoon. We're not in Wyoming anymore.
No, that's for sure. Also not in Kansas anymore.
Oh, that's the quote.
I was like, that's from Wyoming?
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah.